All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack. Thank you so much for joining us. Austin, Texas Fire Chief Joel Baker is facing mounting criticism from the city's firefighter union after accusations that they delayed sending specialized rescue crews to assist in the deadly flooding in Kerr County, Texas. For more on this, let's go on to our Fox 7 team with this report.
The Austin fire chief is under fire, not for what he did, but for what the firefighters union says he didn't do.
We have the resources, we have the training, we have the personnel, and we refuse to go because of a standing order. Do not even ask.
The union president says Chief Baker held back trained crews during last week's deadly floods, even though they were ready to respond.
I started sending pictures with their names by them. I said, Chief, open these up and zoom in on these little faces. 8 to 10 years old. We need to do something. No response, no deployment.
In response to these allegations, Chief Baker sent Fox 7 Austin a statement saying the fire department must, quote, prioritize having sufficient resources in our own community given the risk for a catastrophic flooding in our immediate area. He added that 6 more crew members were deployed to help Texas Task Force 1 with search and rescue efforts. Nix claims this isn't the first time AFD refused to help. They say it happened last year, too, and that crews were afraid to speak up.
Our people are in so much fear of retaliation that that's exactly what they do. And some of them are regretting that.
Nix says Austin firefighters have specialized training and equipment, and had they deployed days sooner, some of the victims might still be alive.
I know some of those girls could have been survived if we had had the best boat crew the day before on scene. I know it. I know it in my heart. And the fact that we didn't do it and we let them down is just, it's unconscionable.
The union is now considering a no-confidence vote for Chief Baker, something he doesn't take lightly. John High, Fox 7 Austin News.
All right, thank you so much for that. And let's bring in right now Austin Firefighters Association President Bob Nix. Thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. And of course, there was a no confidence vote out there that passed. And do you feel the actions in your mind warrants Baker's removal from that post?
Absolutely. It's an absolute failure to lead. And that failure of leadership led to, I believe, in my 37.5 years experience, unnecessary loss of life.
Of course, and there is a little bit of pushback, of course, from the police chief saying he will not step down. I do want to read out some of what they said about what happened over the weekend, talking about this in response, saying the first request for aid that was communicated to the Austin Fire Department leadership came on July the 4th, the same day that we deployed. Also saying they evaluate deployment requests on a case-by-case basis to ensure we can meet needs and requesting agency without compromising staffing and resources in our city. In your eyes, what exactly happened and what would have been a best-case scenario for a response from the Austin Fire Department?
It's so disgraceful. I mean, what you just showed me on the screen is lie upon lie upon lie. The city of Austin is a very apt public information team, and it's just terrible that they would not be accountable to the community like they should be. I mean, we balance resources all the time under normal circumstances. The request comes in, the chief never even knows about it. We have commitments with the state to deploy, and so we would say yes, and we would go every time. So, and our special operations division is one of the best in the nation. They balance those resources. We always put Austin first. We always put the local surrounding community first, but we're big enough we can do both. We had small departments sending 10 people. We had people from Mexico coming in to this. We had people from Oklahoma City. All the major departments in Texas went, except for us. And I want to mention this really quick. We are specialized in Austin, San Antonio, with the best boat crews maybe in the nation for the hill country response, and we were not allowed to go.
And you mentioned some of those statements saying they were requested on July 4th. They deployed on July 4th. You say that they responded, reached out to the Austin Fire Department. Did you reach out to Chief Baker directly before that?
Yes, I texted him. I found out about it late. I didn't find out about it till about 6 o'clock on the 4th. And I just assumed we were sending people. And I started texting him thinking it was a rumor that we didn't. He hasn't responded to me this date. And, you know, like you said in that clip, I started sending the pictures of these poor little faces. I said, Chief, you got to do something. No response, nothing. How we finally sent some the next day after really all of the viable rescues were over was a person decided to break orders. They went to somebody they knew on the command staff and advocated that we do something. That's when he finally sent 3 people only. There were Black Hawk helicopters that were grounded with pilots. There was no rescue swimmers, so that was helpful. But it was after most of the loss of life had already occurred.
Yeah, and it happened all so quickly in Kerr County and other locations. I also want to talk about the mayor of Austin because they posted this, Mayor Watson, on social media talking about very disappointed in some of your comments, saying that they asked Chief Kidd, one of the Texas emergency management operators, he was getting all the need from Austin, and if there was anything else he needed, he characterized Austin's response as above and beyond. Do you disagree with going above and beyond? Do you disagree with what the mayor said there?
Yeah, the mayor is very disgusting. He wouldn't even be the mayor if it wasn't for us. We got him elected, no doubt about it. He was going to lose the runoff. He's a political animal. He's trying to protect his people, but it's just ridiculous what he's saying.
All right, and I want to ask, because it appears that you haven't had any communication with Chief Baker, the Austin fire chief, as of yet. If you did have a chance to speak to him, what would you say?
I don't know. It's going to be pretty frosty, but I am meeting with him on Friday and the assistant city manager to have some sort of talk on budget. See how that goes. That meeting will be about 2 hours before the no confidence vote results come out. And I got to tell you, we are. This goes against our self-interest to do a vote no confidence. I'm not big on vote no confidence, never have been, because it seems whiny to the public. But we're not. This goes against our self-interest to do this. We want to make sure the truth sees the light of day, regardless of what the mayor wants, regardless of what the city manager wants, regardless of what the chiefs want. This guy's got to go. He is going to be a follower with no leaders, and he's incompetent and must go.
You mentioned the budget part, and that was a component, the concern there over that $800,000, the reimbursement from the state. Is there anything that you're doing, anything that you can do in terms of that? Maybe not right now at the moment, but in the past or in the future?
I'm sorry, restate the nature of your question.
The $800,000, the component of the budget concerns potentially on your part about why they didn't necessarily deploy. Is there anything you can do in terms of that dollar amount to get Austin Fire reimbursed?
Well, it's a lie. So what happened is the money is actually already in the city of Austin. They just didn't transfer it to the fire department. So this is a cash flow issue. People died because of a cash flow issue, not because there wasn't money to do it, not for any other reason. It's because they were afraid that the cash wouldn't come in soon enough for the end of the fiscal year. I met with Chief Baker and the assistant city manager of Austin, I don't know, 10 to 14 days before them, explained to them, you take money out of the emergency reserve fund, you pay it then, and you pay it back when it comes in. But to stop the savings of lives because of a cash flow issue is even worse than doing it because of a budget issue. It's crazy.
You also mentioned the fact that this wasn't isolated directly to Kerr County. There were other counties, including in Austin and Travis County, where there were, unfortunately, people that perished. Is it fair, though, to say that they should be focused on Austin? You said the department is wide enough and big enough that they can send resources, but is the focus for Austin Fire, should it be a priority in Travis? And were you concerned last week of the flooding in Travis County?
Absolutely. I was on the special operations team, Swiftwater Rescue, one of the first ones ever trained in the department. I got a Medal of Valor in Swiftwater Rescue. We take care of Austin first. Were there deaths in Austin or in floods? Yes, they were. Was it because you didn't have? Did that happen because of the result of not having highly trained personnel with equipment show up quickly? Absolutely not. We showed up every time. We do everything we can. You can't save everybody, but we have the equipment and expertise to be there as quickly as possible, give the citizens the best chance they have. We also protect our surrounding area very, very well. We can do both. We've done both for over a decade. This is not about anything but, they're just throwing up smoke. This is about nothing but them trying to cover their butts because they screwed up. And rather than being honorable and just admitting it and be accountable, they're making up a series of lies after lies after lies. And you know who knows it's all lies? The firefighters. They're seeing their leader lie in public, and they're not fooling anybody.
And can I ask you about some of what's going on in Kerr County? Because we talk about the deployment and the concerns you had over being denied or delaying some of the deployment. You mentioned those 3 rescue swimmers that are on the ground. There's also 2 crews, 8 total fire personnel. They deployed on Saturday with an AFD boat assigned to assist Travis County Emergency Service. Can you talk about any of the efforts being made right now in Kerr County? Any stories of Austin Fire rescuing people, helping people out in that area?
Well, the rescues are, this is recovery mode. This is making sure that those mommies and daddies can maybe have an open casket funeral. Okay, the people that were deployed from Austin on Saturday and Sunday was because of the pressure campaign we put on. Deployments are now back on. So that means in the future, the deployment comes in, we go, because of the pressure we put on. The Austin firefighters are standing up to make sure the people in this area are protected, regardless of the politicians that are squawking that something else happened. It's just a series of bold-faced lies.
All right, very good, Broadnax. Thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. I appreciate your perspective, as always, on a very tragic situation in Central Texas.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Great conversation there, as always, as controversy in Austin after the union accusing the chief of denying resources to that area in Kerr County in Texas. I do want to put up this live picture one more time. As you can see, the water has receded very significantly. Over 100 people tragically killed. Over 160 still missing at this time. And I do want to reiterate some of the comments from the fire chief, as we did reach out to him today in response to some of these accusations, these claims. And he sent us this, showcasing some of what they did provide in support, saying the first request for aid that was communicated to AFD leadership came on July the 4th, the same day we deployed. Austin Fire Department also evaluates deployment requests on a case-by-case basis to ensure we can meet the needs of the requesting agency without compromising staffing and resources in our city, as they are some of the most specialized units there in the Texas Hill Country for water rescue. So the no confidence vote moving through the union, it will continue on, potentially a meeting between those 2 leaders coming up this weekend. But you also heard from the mayor of Austin talking about this, saying that, unlike Bob, I actually talked to Chief Nim Kidd, the chief of the Texas Division of Emergency Management, over the weekend. In one of our talks, I asked Chief Kidd if he was getting all he needed from Austin, if there was anything else he needed. He characterized Austin's response as, quote, above and beyond.